Yesterday, Sayadaw explained about Sila from the very basic. Sila is one of the three Sikkhas, one of the three trainings. And by fulfilling Sila Sikkhas, by fulfilling the morality training, one's quality will be uplifted, and the person is uplifted. And by the practice of Sila, the person's physical behavior, verbal behavior will become pure, clean, gentle, uplifted, being free from transgression. Refraining from transgression through the practice of Sila, one's physical, verbal behavior become pure and clean, as well as the person is protecting others from being hurt. Having compassion, as well as metta, loving kindness, wanting the welfare of others, consideration, empathy, based on these metta, karuna, empathy, consideration, the person will not want to hurt or torment others in any way, physically or mentally. In this way, the person controls oneself not to commit wrongdoings, and thus the person protects others from being hurt. So in this way, refraining from wrongdoings by body and speech, the person's behavior by body and speech will become pure and clean, as well as the person is protecting others from being hurt. So it is very good, very satisfactory to have this kind of control on one's physical and verbal behavior. One's body and speech will be pure, clean, gentle, cultured, being free from transgression. So one will not suffer, one will become free from suffering, and one gains peacefulness. And having knowledge, refraining from wrongdoing, with knowledge, one becomes lovable, and it is the basic culture of a human being. And now the yogis who have come from abroad, as well as the Burmese, they are here in this meditation center for the meditation retreat. And yogis are observing the 8 precepts during the meditation retreat. Lay yogis are observing the 8 precepts. Nuns are observing at least the 8 precepts. The novices and monks are also observing their respective precepts. By practicing the precepts, by practicing morality, respectfully, meticulously, one's life becomes satisfactory. The practice of Sila is the foundation to practice meditation. So one should practice respectfully, meticulously in the meditation practice with atapa viriya, ardent effort. Having ardent effort in the practice, there will be sustained mindfulness. As much there is sustained mindfulness, the defilements that can arise by lack of mindfulness, such defilements have no chance to arise, and the mind will not be agitated with these defilements. The mind will be calm, collected, unified. If there is one moment of developing viriya, sati and samadhi, effort, mindfulness and concentration, for that one moment, the mind is being free from obsessive defilements that manifest in the mind. So in each moment of noting, for that moment, the mind is free from defilements. And by being mindful repeatedly over and over again, there will be more and more moments being free from defilements. So in 5 minutes, there are 300 moments the mind is being free from defilements by being mindful. And if there is 1 hour of being mindful, there will be 3,600 moments the mind is being free from defilements. So the number of moments being free from defilements will grow bigger and bigger as the person is mindful continuously, moment by moment. Being mindful, the mind is pure, and one discerns the nama rupa, mind and matter, clearly, distinctly. And some of the yogis have understood how they are developing knowledge from their experience. Having sila samadhi, morality, and concentration, the person becomes virtuous, and one will also develop panya, sikha, panya, sikha, wisdom training. Cultivating panya, sikha, wisdom training, one removes the latent, dormant defilements. In this way, developing sila, samadhi and panya, morality, concentration and wisdom, one will be calming, suppressing, weakening the gross, medium and refined form of defilements, and the person's physical behavior, verbal behavior will be blameless, pure, clean, gentle and peaceful. Whenever one thinks about one's good behavior in body and speech, one feels happy, and also the surrounding will also be happy to see such person who is well behaved, who is peaceful in bodily behavior and verbal behavior. Now the yogis are here practicing meditation, so they have already said goodbye to 2010 with their pure, clean, physical, verbal behavior, with a high-class meditation practice, welcoming the 2011 with their high-class meditation practice. So it is a very good way to welcome the new year with the meditation practice, purifying one's body, speech, and mind. People from different countries have different culture, different ways of saying goodbye to the old year and welcoming the new year. Hindu people also, they welcome their new year in their own way. So we have different way of welcoming the new year. Here in Burma, the Buddha Sasana flourished. So the way that the Buddhists celebrate the New Year is in the Buddhist way. The Myanmar Buddhists celebrate the New Year by pouring water on each other as a way of celebrating the New Year. Pouring of the water, it signifies that one washes away the impurity in the New Year, welcoming the New Year. And also in the time of the New Year, not only pouring water on each other to remove the dirt and impurities, but also cleaning up the buildings as well as cleaning up things, washing up things in order to clean the surrounding, welcoming the New Year. So it is the custom that the Burmese people do as the New Year celebration. In the world, the Christian era is mostly used, and people celebrate the New Year. And many people celebrate the New Year with fireworks, and many of them drink until they become drunk, and they have fun, drinking, having fun, and such kind of celebration end up with sad events. And because they think that they only have one time to celebrate New Year every year, they do whatever in order to have fun. And they have fun in an unruly manner, which ends up in suffering. The way they celebrate the New Year, drinking, having fun, is not the good way to celebrate the New Year. A person who has reasoning power will not see such kind of celebration as good. It is not acceptable for someone who has reasoning power to accept such kind of foolish kind of celebrating, drinking, and so on. So such kind of celebration without control is unruly, and it leads to injury or even fatalities. People who have knowledge does not like such kind of celebration, which is dangerous and fatal. The best way to celebrate the New Year is to remove the defilements that have been troubling most throughout the round of existences. The defilements have been burning the mind so that the mind becomes dirty, polluted with defilements. And the defilements give most trouble. So one needs to know the correct way to remove the defilements that has been following throughout the round of existences. By practicing sila, one refrains from transgression. As much one practices the sila, the more transgressive defilements will be removed. Having concentration, the obsessive defilements will become weaker. Obsessive defilements are suppressed through the practice of concentration. And if the defilements arise, one should cure it right away. One should cure the defilements immediately after the defilements arise. By cultivating knowledge, one weakens the defilements. And when the knowledge becomes mature, one abandons the defilements, uproots the defilement to the point of no return. One should have faith and confidence in the practice of Sila, Samadhi and Panya, and by practicing accurately, precisely, according to the instructions, one will gain these benefits. So one can compare the value of life to that of the person who is having foolish kind of celebration, drinking, and so on, with the value of life to the person who practices Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, purifying body, speech, and mind. So comparing these two values of life, you will know which one is more valuable, which one is more precious. People who do not have reasoning power, they welcome the new year with dangerous kind of happiness and fatal kind of happiness. Better way to welcome the new year is to welcome by purifying one's body, speech, and mind. Purifying one's body, speech, and mind is the best way of welcoming the new year. So it is very satisfying to say goodbye to the old year and to welcome the new year through the practice of Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, purifying body, speech, and mind. And by welcoming the new year with the practice of Sila, Samadhi, Panya, nothing will get ruined. There will not be any sad events. By welcoming the new year with the practice of Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, and one will be free from dangerous kind of happiness, fatal kind of happiness. Yogis who are practicing, they are automatically saying goodbye to the old year through their practice of Sila, Samadhi, Panya, and they are automatically welcoming the new year with the practice of Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. But in fact, not only that they are saying goodbye to the old year, welcoming the new year, but they are also saying goodbye to the old days, old minutes, old seconds, and welcoming the new day, new minute, new second through the practice of the three trainings, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So it is the best way of welcoming new day, new minute, new second through the practice, purifying one's physical behavior, verbal behavior, and mental behavior. Purifying one's body, speech, and mind, one gains Nikkama Sukha, happiness of renunciation, and there will be Viveka Sukha, happiness of seclusion, Upasama Sukha, happiness calming, suppressing the defilements. Cultivating knowledge stage by stage, when knowledge becomes mature, one gains Sambodha Sukha, happiness gained through development of knowledge, and one gains happiness through the Dhamma practice. One feels joyous, happy in the practice, and there will be peacefulness, comfort, which is blameless, pure, and clean. Whenever one thinks of one's practice, it is very satisfying. It is very happy to have said goodbye to the old day, old minutes, old second, through the practice and welcoming the new day, new minute, new second. And in order to welcome new minute, new second, apart from the sleeping hour, one should be mindful continuously every single second, so that one's body, speech and mind will be pure, clean, gentle, peaceful and lovable, and it is very satisfying. And if the teacher sees yogis who practice respectfully, meticulously, thoroughly, then previous years, the meditation teachers will think that it is worthy of helping such yogis to a partial level. But if the yogis practice more diligently, more respectfully, more thoroughly, then the teachers will be satisfied with the yogis. They will think that it is worthy of helping yogis. Teachers will be satisfied by 50%. And if the yogis make full effort, practicing respectfully, meticulously, completely, then the teachers will be satisfied with the yogis to a full extent. So, yogis are saying goodbye to the old hour, old minute, old second through the practice of Sila, Samadhi and Panya, welcoming the new hour, new minute, new second through the practice. And Jaraji and the teachers are hoping that all the yogis are welcoming new hour, new minute, new second through the practice of Sila, Samadhi, Panya diligently on the correct path. As a human being, it is important to be a true human, to have a humane mind. If the mind is left uncontrolled, if there is lack of mindfulness, then the mind will be stray. Just as when the parents do not teach their young, if the parents do not teach their children, the children become spoiled, and it is not worthy of giving birth to such kind of spoiled children. If the mind is left uncontrolled, if there is lack of mindfulness, the mind goes here and there is agitation of these defilements. In order not to let the mind be agitated, one needs a good control with the practice of Satipatthana. As much one can remove the rudeness of these defilements, the more the person will become true human. And when the mind is calm, collected, the person has a humane mind, and by developing knowledge stage by stage, one becomes outstanding human. If the mind is not tormented by the defilements, the mind not being burnt by these defilements, there will be peacefulness. If the person is accepting the defilements, these defilements are polluting the mind as well as making the person's life degraded and inferior. People are polluted, inferior and degraded because of the defilements such as lobha, dosa. Without these defilements, a person will not be polluted, inferior or degraded. The defilements are the cause to be polluted, dirty, inferior, and degraded. Knowing that, one should know how to prevent, refrain, suppress, and remove the defilements that are degrading. And one should know the correct way how to cure the defilements. And if one has found out the correct way to do so, one should practice accordingly. Practicing Satipatthana meditation involves the three trainings, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Practicing Satipatthana meditation, fulfilling Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, one will realize the benefits of Satipatthana practice even within 2-3 days of their practice. Understanding from their experience that practicing Satipatthana meditation is one and only sure way to purify the mind and to give guarantee in life. As much one's knowledge becomes mature, one will come to acceptance, confirmation that this Satipatthana practice is very beneficial, and one will continue the practice until one reaches one's goal. When one has reached one's goal, realizing Nibbana, one will never give up the practice. Knowing that the defilements are burning, suppressing the mind, one will practice in order to calm, suppress these defilements. By calming, suppressing the defilements, one also develops knowledge. There will be saddha, faith and confidence. Faith and confidence become stronger and stronger by developing knowledge stage by stage. When that happens, the person not only practices himself or herself, but the person comes to know that it will be very pleasant if the Dhamma practice is spreaded onto the whole world, to every person on the world. So if the people who practice grow from one person to many persons, from one nation to another, then the world will be glowing with the persons who practice. So if the people who practice Satipatthana meditation grow, there will be more happiness, more peacefulness. There are people who have wrong view that there will only be happiness by letting one's mind, speech and body be free. Such kind of view is a wrong view. So one should remove the wrong idea that there will only be happiness by letting one's body, speech and mind go free without any mindfulness. So it is very important to walk on the correct path so that one's life will be smooth, and through the practice of the correct way, through the practice of Satipatthana, one will reach the destination where there is total peace. It is very important to learn valuable lessons. People live in society. There is society of families, relatives, friends. So it is important to have happiness and peacefulness In order to have happiness and peacefulness, one should practice the correct path, walking on the correct path. Developing knowledge, one will become a wise person. Only if one is well behaved, others will also be well behaved. In order to be well behaved, one should practice at least the 5 precepts so that bodily behavior, verbal behavior will be blameless, pure and clean. Only if the person is well behaved, others will be well behaved. In order to make others be well behaved, the person himself or herself should be well behaved. In a family, if the parents want their children to be well behaved, parents should also be well behaved in order to have their children to have good behavior. In a family, the parents are important. Only if the parents are well behaved, their children will be well behaved. In the society of teacher and students, it is important that the teacher is well behaved in order that the students should be well behaved. So one should have the valuable lessons, and in order to make the family pleasant, the parents should be good role models by behaving well, so that the good behavior will be passed on to the children. So it should not be just pretending, but parents, teachers should be role models so that the children, the students will also be well behaved, and it will bring up a very good family, very good society. So it is very important to have this precious lesson. In order to make others be well behaved, the person himself or herself should be well behaved. And if the population of people who are behaving well grow, then the society, the whole world will become peaceful and pleasant. So Sayadaw strongly encourages everyone to behave well so that they will be a good role model for others to follow. And this will be all for today.